Hey guys, this is Tali Berman, and today we are doing part 2 of how to reduce conflict for your child with autism. So if you haven't seen part 1, click right up here, right where I'm pointing, and you will access the first video of the series. And what I talk about in the first video is why it's an even important thing to reduce conflict for your child with autism, how conflict can impact your child's development, and on the flip side, how creating harmony in your home can create a very conducive learning environment for your child and growth in all areas, socially, emotionally, in all areas of development. So I talked about the priority of making that the intention, to prioritize harmony in your home to best support your child's growth forward. And if you and your partner or your husband or your wife are battling strategically about how to pursue certain goals or which goals to pursue, that first video is all about recognizing that actually how you pursue videos is much less significant on your child's, how you pursue goals is much less impactful for your child than changing conflict into harmony. So creating harmony first, because conflict creates a state of anxiety and stress, which might increase things like self-injurious behaviors, a need to stim, and an overall unavailability to learn. So if you haven't watched video 1 first, sorry, that was my washing machine that just went off, then click up here to watch video number 1. Now what I talked about in video number 1 is that in video number 2, which is right now, I'm going to talk about strategies of how to do that, because some of you might be thinking, great, Tali, prioritizing harmony in my home, like who wouldn't want that? Of course, that would be a great thing, but how do we do that? My husband and I are butting heads constantly and have conflict day in and day out about how to help our child brush his teeth, transition from one activity to the next, get out the door in the morning, diets, etc. So today is strategy day, and I'm going to give you 2 strategies. Strategy number 1 is create a compromising negotiation. Now here's what I mean. Not in the heat of the moment, not in the midst of your flurry of your day-to-day activities, but ahead of time to really sit down together and say, okay, here are the areas of conflict. Where can we compromise in the name of creating harmony, recognizing from video number 1 that that's going to make the biggest impact on our child versus conflict and the confusion and chaos that might create. So let's prioritize harmony. Where can we both compromise so that when it comes to diet, when it comes to self-help skills, when it comes to bedtime routine, we can have harmony, where each of us might be compromising what we might think to be the most effective thing, but believing that having harmony overall will be the most effective. So the first would be to really pick the hot spots. Pick those hot spots and come together, not in the midst of the moment, and create a negotiating compromise of how you can proceed in each one of those things. And then just watch and see what happens. When strategy aside, there's just a more harmonious way of doing it because you both have surrendered and recognized that harmony is the priority. So the first strategy is coming to a compromise and to negotiate. The other strategy, and this sometimes can be even easier to do, or a little bit more seamless might be the better word, is to delegate. So for example, with this family that I'm working with that I mentioned in the first video, things like helping him brush his teeth can be a whole back and forth. No, we need to do it this way. No, when you do it that way, you're giving him too much independence. You're sitting on top of him too much. Back and forth, back and forth. So what we decided and we talked about is delegating. So there might be certain parts of the day that are really important to you. And there might be really other parts of the day that are really a priority for your partner. So that would be deciding, okay, let's delegate. How about I get him out the door in the morning and I do it in the way that I believe to be most effective, and you just trust that. And you just back off and let me do it from a place of really believing that it's going to be successful, really wanting the best for us in that moment, but really delegating that to me, backing off and letting me do it. And flip side, if there's a certain thing that's really important to you, I'm going to really delegate that to you and not get over involved and not get myself all entangled in that particular moment of the day, but delegate clearly, a division of labor, because when you have too many cooks in the kitchen, you trip over each other, it causes stress, it causes anxiety, and it causes conflict. So the first strategy, compromise. Pick each moment that you both are giving up a little bit to have an overall smoother running of your day and interactions with your child. And number 2 is just to delegate. You take this, I take that. Whatever you're taking, I'm giving it over to you. I'm trusting and believing that it'll be done most effectively. In my heart, I'm supporting you in how you're doing it. And flip side, when it's my turn, I'm doing it and I've got all the space I need to do it in the way that I believe to be most effective. And so you're not tripping over each other, you're not creating unnecessary conflict. So those are the 2 strategies today of how to reduce conflict, create more harmony in your home so your child can relax, let down his defenses, release stress, anxiety, and confusion that can come as a result of conflict, and really, in the place of harmony, grow to his capacity. So I would love to hear from you. Please scroll down and tell me, what is one thing you are taking from this video? Do you believe that delegation is going to be most effective, compromise, or do you have a different strategy that you found to be effective that you'd like to share with our community? So scroll down, tell me what strategy you plan to implement to create more harmony in your home, and press submit. If you're watching this video anywhere other than my blog, please hop over to www.taliberman.com and leave your comments below. I look forward to hearing from you.